motion to approve the agenda for September 20th, 2023.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed? The next thing on our agenda is Linda Allen will update us on current finances. Linda's here on the phone with us, so I will put the microphone, hopefully you can hear everyone. Ready?
Ready? So, bank statement, for the DDA, statement dated 8/1 to 8/31. The ending balance was $6,698.66. I'll repeat that, $6,698.66. There was one debit to come out, and that was an HP bill. That was the only debit that we had. So closing of August 31st, the balance was as of $698.66.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Linda? While we have you, I don't know if you can stand for the whole meeting, but we will need a check for the rent for the next quarter.
For our little building?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so,
I got the receipt that we paid all the way up until, we paid up to this month.
Yeah.
We paid August. What that invoice said. We made 2 payments, right, Rich? I thought we were paid up until. I thought we were paid up to October, November, and December is what unless I misunderstood.
no, we did the previous quarter, so there's one more to make.
Okay, September's rent is, $200.
Yeah.
Okay, got that, all right. I'll get that ready.
Thank you. All right. Moving on. Our marketing, promotions, communications, website update. John, our committee chair, is not going to be attending today. Unfortunately, he had something urgent at work. So, Virgil, do you want to talk a little bit about where you are with things that you've been working on?
I'm still having trouble making contact with John to get where he was at. So I don't want to. I want to start with where he left off, but I do have a tentative list of businesses in the area, in our area. I just haven't narrowed it down as to which of those are the ones that we need to make contact with. But I'm assuming that all of them in the area will eventually make contact with West Coast Media. But I'm still trying to get that list together. I never got the sheet that you had of who our partners were. I never got that. I want to see, compare what I have to what it is that you have, so that we can kind of narrow it down.
Maybe, if it's possible now, would you like to maybe set a meeting? And then we'll invite John to it.
That would probably work better. I mean, because I've invited him to some of my days at the Welcome Center on Saturday, and he hasn't showed. He showed here the last meeting that we had here, but he left early, so we weren't able to connect.
So,
And I know Audie was on that committee too, but I haven't been in contact with her. So my thought was that John was facilitating that, and that they had a committee already form, so I'd like to be a part of what they already have established and kind of expand it.
They have not been meeting,
There.
so I think it would be appropriate for us to kind of set a date. Would you be available on Friday afternoon, the 29th?
Afternoon, yes, yes.
Okay, so shall we, what time is good for you with your work schedule?
Our office is closed on Friday. We're only doing paperwork in the mornings. So we have a morning schedule, but I'm leaving for Las Vegas the day after, so I'm trying to, trying to pack and get my Las Vegas mind together. But yeah, Friday afternoon on the 29th, we can meet. Yeah, well, so that the early as possible.
How about 2?
2 o'clock?
Yeah.
Can we do it a little earlier?
1?
One, it's a little earlier.
You said
I think he's thinking of like 12. 12.
12.
You think like 11, 12?
Well, yeah, so I can be out of the meeting and I can get my other stuff taken care of that afternoon.
12 would be best, if
12,
you can do that.
okay, 12 and the 29th.
Now he grabs his phone. 12.
And we'll meet at the Welcome Center.
Okay.
That way we can keep the ball moving forward, we hope. Michigan Main Street's Welcome Center is the next thing on our agenda, and research. Actually, this last meeting, we talked about something else, which was important too. We can get to that later in the agenda. Sure. Staffing, we're still waiting for some steps forward on the changing the entrance to the building to get handicap access from the sidewalk. So we're no further along. I haven't approached them again because we don't have a particular date, and these people run through the programs in different time blocks. So if we started interviewing now, that person might not even be available, in a couple months. So once we know that we can do what we need to do, then we'll go ahead and start some interviewing to see who's out there who can help us with some of the past information, managing our information, helping us organize it, and to help with things like if they have experience entering stuff for budget and all that stuff. So hopefully we'll have some progress in the near future to talk about. The next thing on here is subcommittee for events. And I have Deidre down here. Deidre has some events, if you'd like to tell us about the ones that you're working on.
Okay, so I know I had a couple asks for people and I haven't gotten with them, right? But the two that are immediate are the All Things Wellness in Hull Park, right? Which is Saturday, September 30th, so the end of this month. And that event was primarily a informational engagement and things of that sort. So Marcy Hamilton has really partnered with me with this in regards to, she'll be there. She named the state representatives that will be speaking at noon, but politics really isn't, and names aren't really huge for me. So they'll be providing, along with her, the updates on the grant for Hull Park, as well as the update for Ox Creek, and things of that nature in regards to grants for the community, for parks, for water, environmental, and things like that. Dr. Desmond Murray, Andrews, environmental. He actually called me today. I met him before, just walking Karande Park, right? And then I learned he's an editor, I believe, for Urban Spirit. And then he has the Environmental Fridays activities or series that he does through Andrews. And so Marcy will be doing a press release. And so he called me about it. He thought they were that and along with my other event was combined, and so he just wants to know what is going on in the community, and he's getting Andrews and volunteers to be involved, and just to see how they can, take part in that. And so I have a host of community resources, so the library, the police chief will have the fire truck there to, do more engagement with the kid. Lack Power is a lactation group that she's also a doula. I actually am a doula as of Sunday. A
Congratulations.
doula, thank you. And then like different individuals will be doing physical activities with the kids, so yoga, different workout things. There's a native from Benton Harbor that does training for actually NFL teams. And so I was getting, he was like, if you could just give me $50 an hour, because my team doesn't want to do it for free. So I'm working on some things to pay him for that. And then just a lot of our other community partners. So the Boys and Girls Club is due to be present. I have a whole list of them. I mean, if you guys wanted to know who all be present. And then just a couple vendors in regards to selling. So it'll be Carlotta, she does. Spencer, she does like different cakes and things. She's a staple at the farmer's market. And then Erla Reynolds does like sea moss and different holistic type care things. She has lupus and different things where she's healed herself. So I just feel those two were like really huge. And then 2 food trucks. We have to narrow them down because we don't want a lot of food trucks in the park. So a variety. One, I can't even think of the name of her food truck that has the what are those bread thingies?
Elephant ear.
Elephant ears, so I can't think of her. So they have that kind of, that one, and then there's and then there's more, which is the net or more. They have like the barbecue, Moore's Grill. And so, so variety, and so that is, all things wellness. That was the point of that one. And then the tire event is the 29th, technically Friday. The trailer arrived on the 28th, but I didn't know what time. So I just started on the 29th, and the volunteer timeframes the drop-off timeframes are from 3 to 7. However, we're networking and communicating with different entities such as churches and different people that'll be dropping off at different times. But that was the only time for like residents to drop off. So I have a smaller time frame in regard to needing volunteers to be there. My first one, I had like a whole 8-hour shift, and maybe 4 people came, at that time, and more people came later in the day and then requested a later time. So hence 3 to 7. And again, it's free because I know the county commission will have one in October, but it's priced per tire and things like that. This one is totally free. It is I actually independently partnered or collaborated with a community resource, thanks Richard Roberts, that actually applied for the Eagle grant, right? And so they have funds and trailers to get help with environmental and tire, actually in particular is the grant that they had applied for. And the first one went so well, she asked about, will you do another one? I said, yes, I would. Yes, I would. And so again, that is September 29th through October 3rd.
So just to be clear, people from 3 to 7 on any of those days from the 29th into October 3rd can bring tires.
That's when the set volunteers will be there. I'm totally flexible because I still have people from last time that had called in the messages like, let me know when you do it again. So I'm flexible for other hours, but I just don't want to hold volunteers up all day and people aren't bringing anything. So I'm flexible for other times, but that was the time frame. Yeah, 3 to 7.
Great, thanks for doing that and giving us an update. Wanted to also talk today in events about our downtown Halloween celebration. The people at St. Joe today have been communicating with their members in Benton Harbor and are planning to once again be part of a partnership to provide trick or treat to the kids in the Arts District. So we had a commitment from Benton Harbor High School for the Tiger Marching Band to come and march through the district as they did last time. And so working on getting public safety there and hopefully the Coast Guard as we've had in years past. But we are still looking for groups and for our own thing. at the Welcome Center. We need some people who are willing to help out from 4 to 6 to hand out candy. And it's a great time, it's lots of fun. We had a wonderful time last year, even though poured rain, it was
Yes.
obnoxious.
Yeah,
Horrible
yeah, but the kids were excited.
They were adorable.
Yes, and the band, of course, with their rain slickers on was so cool to see. They weren't gonna be drowned out. And so, looking forward to that again, it should be fun. So if businesses wanted to sponsor a table with some candy, they'd be welcome. We can set people up on the sidewalk near the Welcome Center or, somewhere along the line between 5th Street and 6th. We'll close, as we have in the past, we'll close Water Street from Hinckley up to 6th Street. And that will allow us enough space for the kids to wander around the fire trucks and stuff and be safe. So part of what we do also is to help them, keep an eye on them crossing over Hinckley Street, because once we close Water Street, traffic tends to go around and down Hinckley, or traffic that would come through there and go down Water Street gets redirected around onto Territorial, and kids are back and forth on both sides of the street. So we have to kind of keep an eye out for them too. So if you're interested in volunteering after the meeting, if you want to let me know. If you're part of any fraternal groups, it'd be great to have fraternal groups down there, or sorority groups. The kids love to see adults and who care about them and who are in the community, see familiar faces, so that would be great. Obviously, Commissioner Edwards is not here, so we don't have an update from the Brownfields Redevelopment Authority. I'm not sure what's happened to Lee, but I will tell you about Planning Commission. Planning Commission has met with the consultant. The executive committee of the Planning Commission has met with the consultant, gone over some of the feedback, and we anticipate having another session with feedback that's come in since then, so that people's comments are being captured in the community engagement part of the master plan. So everyone will be able to see comments that are made in regard to the latest draft. So we still expect to wrap things up soon on that, and then begin on the zoning ordinance update, which will come out of that master plan update. So with any luck, we hope to be done with some of this by the end of the year, which is great because we're going on year 2. And we had some great engagement, lots of people who participated, and we had over 100 people participating one way or another in person, or people online participating along with our community engagement events where we went through the neighborhoods, and Pizza Day at Benton Harbor High School. So at the end of the day, we will have had hundreds of people giving input about what they'd like to see in the next 5 to 10 years, 5 to 20 years in Benton Harbor. So just a quick thing about, you may have read or heard about Project T. There's a meeting later tonight. The Finance Committee of the City Commission is meeting in their regular meeting, and they have on their agenda a discussion of Project T. So Project T is moving forward, inching forward. They have been awarded a grant contingent on their ability to get all of the paperwork done in order to get through the Planning Commission and the City Commission as soon as possible. So the next Planning Commission meeting, October 3rd, we'll be talking about that project, and it'll be an opportunity for a public hearing to talk about the planned development that is being created around this housing project. So people will have a chance to see it. If you live within 300 feet of it, you may have already gotten public notice mailed to you about that public hearing. Also, it's been in the newspaper and it's posted here in the building, I believe. So if you have questions about those things.
This is not the project at the Old Mercy Hospital
Yes.
site, it is?
So, so it looks, I believe the number of housing units will be 73. I may be off one or two. Most of it will be duplex houses, and they're looking at home ownership versus majority rental. So that's about all we can say about it at this point. There is a preliminary site plan that people will be able to see at the public hearing on October 3rd. So I don't know if they're going to have any of those documents for tonight's meeting with the city commission, but that's a possibility too.
Does all new construction have to come before the planning commission?
No.
No.
No. Like a major change of use.
Yeah.
In this case, because they want to have the advantages of a planned unit development. Not only does the site plan have to come to us, but we have to have the public more engaged because there's going to be a little more density than we would normally see. And there are also, part of that housing is going to be in a 3-story building, which will have commercial uses in it. So in order to combine all those things on one site, we have to do the planned unit development. But generally, if you were building a house, no.
No.
it just
I was
goes
just
in.
asking that question because they sold a lot next to my house. I was
Ah,
just wondering what they were planning for construction was there, because I had heard a couple different things. And I know that Cornerstone owns a lot, that they sell it, they want a building, some construction to happen within the first year. I just didn't know whether it was an apartment complex like I had heard, or if it's a private, single-family dwelling.
They can't build an apartment complex without going through the planning commission
Not
process.
going through the planning commission.
And probably in that case, again, because of the fact that it's a single family residential district.
Yeah.
We'd be talking about planning unit development or change in zoning.
Change,
So
okay,
there are months ahead of whoever's trying to do any of that,
okay,
including a duplex. You can't build a duplex as of right either.
yeah.
So, the only thing they could build next to you without going
It's a
through,
single-family dwelling.
right?
Yeah.
So,
That's good, that's good to hear.
yeah, there are reasons, of course, for that. We do want people in the neighborhoods to know what's happening, be aware of it, but also, looking out for property values for people like you who are invested in your home. Want to make sure that the neighborhoods are as stable as we can make them. There will be some changes in the zoning ordinance regarding types of housing that are allowed in different places, but none of that is nailed down. So one of the things we'll be looking at is the map, the zoning map, which is up there. If you're interested in seeing where you fall in there. And that, so there'll be some map changes and there'll probably be some text updates allowing for different types of housing to increase density. So, do you have any questions? Okay, so if you can make it to the October 3rd meeting, watch it online or at our meeting, I'll give you an update. Next thing we've got on here is Alex. I kind of expected Alex to come. The social district idea is still percolating out there, and I've been approached by Mr. Little to consider what role the DDA might play in actually operating a social district with a sweetener, which might be that it would be a way for us to raise money for other things. As part of that particular project and program, there's money for marketing and marketing the social district. So
Marketing, how would that generate funds for us?
well, it would allow us to do the marketing work that we want to do. Because basically the social district is downtown. So it gives us another opportunity to get the word out, and none of those details are anything at this point.
So it wouldn't be
Just an
selling-
idea.
It wouldn't be selling cups or anything.
Well, we're gonna work out how those cups will be sold, and then the administrative side of the finance, because we are not set up to administer those funds as things stand. So just wanted to get it on the radar. If you thought it had kind of gone away, it hasn't. So we're gonna try to do what we can to work collaboratively. I do know that Cornerstone Alliance has offered their services. And again, these are just vague discussions of ideas. So we hope that we can move it forward in a way that will benefit all of downtown and the businesses here, and make it a success. So the next thing on our agenda, holiday lights.
So Roger and I are meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We can kind of decide. I'm looking at, Novo is putting together a sponsorship for next month. I know we need to move it sooner than that because obviously the lighting is on December 1st.
Yeah.
But our fundraising efforts for the month of November will be for the holiday lights down here. So that will help contribute some of the money. And then I was also going to talk with Black Distro, which is opening soon, and Nobody's Home to see if we can get a full campaign going.
That'd be great.
So we get some dollars generated so we can purchase new things. Plus, I see this nice bill. We'll call it what it is.
Well,
I like that.
so just to say what we're talking about here.
Don't forget.
We were approached last year by, well, actually, I approached people in St. Joe trying to figure out who was putting up the lights on the trees in their downtown on State Street. Because they were doing such a great job. And managed to get through to that person. His name is Jake, and Jake Kaufman hires himself out as Premier Lighting Solutions. And they have other clients they do this work for. So the timing wasn't right for us because of where we were in the year and what we needed to get done and what we had already committed to financially. He just approached me a week and a half ago and asked if we might be interested in working with them, and I suggested that he send us a proposal. So what you have in front of you is a proposal, and you can see that there's a price per tree, which seems relatively reasonable when you consider the fact that the price includes installation, maintenance of them, so within 48 hours they'll replace bulbs or strands if they go out. They'll take down the lights and store them. So And it addresses a number of the issues that we have consistently run into, which is what to do with all of the stuff after we take it down, to keep it safe and usable.
Will they be using their own lights or ours?
No, we're paying for lights, that
Paying for
will, they'll do all of it, including there's a amount here for, setting up power,
Mm-hmm.
because again, those 11 trees are not connected to any power, so they have to run lines from the pole in what used to be an alley there at the city center and run into trees and then feed the trees one from another all the way around the park. So we create a really wonderful display, one that I think we all hope to get to at some point. So I think it's worth considering. But maybe the committee can talk this over.
So just to be clear and understand, this price includes the lights, the installation, the takedown, and the storage.
Yes, and any repairs. So with storms or whatever during the time they're up, we'll set a date as a group, we'll figure out when we want them taken down,
Come some
and
gas last year.
they'll take them down in storm. So between that time and the time they're up for December 1st, they will make the repairs, so it seems very reasonable.
Yeah, it's almost, I want to say can't beat it, but I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, it sounds good to me, yeah.
Well, compared to what we got previously or what we were paying, it seems like a lot, but it's, when you consider all of what's being offered, I think it's good. But, we no longer spend $20,000 a year on Christmas lights. So, I think we're still in a feasible and sustainable, range of prices, costs, because at the end of the day, of course, we're raising money for all of it. So we don't want to overtax our businesses on things like this by asking them to support an expense like $20,000 for the year. We also, of course, will still have the youth build arrangement. And so the committee will need to get in touch with them. I can give you that information. And we want to touch base with him. They were wanting to meet earlier this year so they can get their volunteers and get everything sorted out for getting the lights up on the street light poles. So they also store all the equipment, and we've agreed to the same price as last year.
What was that? What was that?
$33,750.
Thank you.
And that's putting up the lights on over, I think there were 60 poles or something like that, and then storing them. So that too is in.
Do both of these organizations have insurance at all, or is the city liable for? I mean, I'm just looking at a broader scale. I mean, is this can we get a copy of the certificate of liability to cover us if he's taking full ownership of all of this? I just want to make sure we're covered under, we're not putting the city at risk. Just
Let's ask.
There are still old lights up in some of the trees. Maybe they'll drag those down or snip them or whatever has to happen, since they're right there. Discussion item.
Well, sure, I'm sure they don't want to tangle the new ones
Right.
with the old ones, so that isn't part of this quote, so we'll have to talk with them when we ask about insurance costs. As far as Youth Build is insured, they have their own program or insurance for those students who are out doing things like building houses. So this is a fundraiser for them. they can use it for things outside their normal budget for their classes and classroom.
Would they be willing to take on this as well, or is there, just asking?
Their capacity is,
Okay,
is
just check.
Polls.
get the polls, getting the
Oh,
polls done.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And a certain height even. They
Yeah.
Right.
lower it to their ladder
Yeah.
level.
perfect.
So, again, I mean, that's how we've done things in the past. It doesn't mean we have to continue to do them that way. But, unless the committee comes up with a compelling argument to do something else,
It's not broke.
yeah, it doesn't seem to be broken, so let's not fix that. We also, of course, will be decorating the park. So, for people who feel like they would be disappointed about not having to put up lights on trees, there are still shrubs and
There's other stuff to do.
other things that you want to light up, and we already have the lights for. So we should be good there without having additional expense, as long as we have volunteers who are willing, aside from Virgil and me, and
And this is, you'll probably want, so you're turning these on December 1st.
right.
Okay,
So also December 1st, we chose December 1st because that's when the Benton Harbor High School band is available.
gotcha.
To
That's,
perform.
okay, perfect.
We are doing this in partnership with the Benton Harbor Public Library. So that evening will start, as it usually does, around 4:30, 5 o'clock with story reading from celebrities, local celebrities. They get to choose a book and read. James Gunther is heading that up for the library, so he's actively looking for celebrities and stories. And then after they're done with that, we will turn the lights on and then have refreshments at the library. So we'll need to be finding some money in our budget for pizza for the kids who are performing. That's kind of our payment to them as a thank you from year to year. And we have people at the library working on the treats for the celebration part of them. So things seem to be moving along a bit. If you're interested in being a part of the story reading, you can contact the Benton Harbor Public Library. And the phone number is 926-6139. And you can leave a message for James there. So I think that's that, right? Oh, State Theater. So quick update on the State Theater.
State Theater roof is a project, and we've got a short list of companies to contact that have been referred to us from different directions. We've had 2 on site to review. One of them has come back with a quote, and it's kind of a total re-roof. And the number is fairly large, 200,000-ish for that. The State Theater came with 100,000, which is eroded in a small way, but that's still not enough to do a roof, which the building desperately needs. One of the companies, the second company that visited the building, is a South Bend company that does a lot of South Bend buildings. They've offered to help us with the RFQ to make it a bigger picture, to do a good job of getting the best work at the best price. We haven't had a follow-up meeting to that, but we're gonna have to fundraise to get our new roof, which is just the beginning of that building. Excuse me. So I guess more news to be announced as it goes along, but something's happening at least. The source that I had that I was hoping to do a patch job, they're no longer in business. So there's no deal on materials to put a umbrella over things. So we'll get energetic, hopefully, and productive on seeking a new roof. Anybody has any ideas or good companies, they have to be big boys because the project isn't a ma kind of a thing, but welcome input in there.
I'll talk with you, 'cause we're
Okay.
putting one on Water Street too, on our building at Noble.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah, I'll talk with people.
Thank you. thank you.
I think Trevor has some ideas too.
All right. Bring them on.
Right on.
No, let's not use the meeting for that unless we want to.
We should probably schedule a meeting that people know about, to talk about the RFQ or RFP. Also, I just wanted to let you know, I did contact Evan Marsh about, trying to work with them to, put an RFP together.
Huh?
I have not gotten a response back yet, but that was Friday, so
Yeah.
I'll hit them up again. Did you have a chance to talk to Whitman?
I did not yet, but
Okay.
this week, maybe today, I'll get to that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, do you think, when would we meet?
Oh, well, we haven't gotten anything back yet. Let's give ourselves, why don't we make that part of our main streets? Well, that's 3 weeks away yet, probably, so, what's the calendar look like? Gotta make some progress before we make promises on dates. So can I follow up on that one?
Sure.
All right?
And then if you send it to me, a couple of suggestions, we'll pass them along to people who said they're interested in helping out with the theater. Again, with all these committees, we have to be careful not to have a quorum of people on a committee, unfortunately. So we have to rely on committees to do some of the work to prepare for our meetings. And then we can hear about what that work is at our meeting.
Just maybe a couple other things. One, Christmas lights made me think of maybe we can figure out some way to dimly light the marquee or something, make it a focal point. Santa on the roof, I don't know, something like that. I've been trying to make an effort to clean the block, basically, mowing the grass down at the laundry and all to keep it presentable, pick up litter about every couple of weeks. I'm down there doing that. It occurs to me that if we could inspire our group of members of DDA territory to adopt a block, walk around once a week and pick things up. Now, it doesn't have to be the same person every time, but it's really an easy task. But if you're one person doing it, it gets a little tedious and there's lots of things to do. I don't know if the downtown area could do it. One sort of a gap in visual of the downtown is including sometimes the corner of Water Street, but litter or lawn.
Constantly doing that, yes.
Yeah, it's not a big space, but it makes a big dent. Down the way, a couple of less inactive dispensaries, not pretty.
Yeah.
And if they could just take that inch, it would be huge visually, I think. I guess that's, well, no, one other thing. When we talked about Hinckley and Water Street and Halloween, I was thinking maybe Kathy Catania has a photo of the little kids in their Halloween flavors walking across the curb, which has been a scar since 2014, when a scrap truck turned too tight and scraped the curb away from that corner. I raised that at the commission meeting, whenever it was, Monday, and years previous, repetitively, insurance check was received by the city, but nothing ever came of it. They got the money. A local businessman chased after the truck that hit him, that took that out, made that damage, and he was confident that the check has been received. This is, I think I said 2014. No action. Little things add up, in my mind, and that's a little thing that is just years go by. So I guess enough of that. I'm gonna keep pushing on that, and I will on everything that I think is safety related. Another item I mentioned at the meeting, commission meeting, was the lights are out. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but East Main is dark. Has been for a week plus. I don't know about today, but I'll check tonight. It's dark from Block, 2 lights this side of Fifth, and then all the way to Pawpaw, pitch black. You know, it's like driving in the country pretty much, your headlights. So that's a concern that I think we all share. As well as the 3 of the 4 lights in City Center Park have been dark for more than a year. I don't know what could be the problem, but I would like to promote, and I have promoted, and will continue to get those things operating.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the construction.
It's been a year and a half, and it's new lights, but I don't,
Maybe they're not connected anymore.
one works 24/7. The 3 don't.
Oh,
You logic, if you got logic for that, I don't know, but it's just, it's kind of embarrassing and sad and also not super safe. So I hope we can work on that, and I'm just raising that as a personal concern of safety in our area.
great. Thanks for checking in with us all and giving us an update, and for the work that you're doing. Appreciate it.
Maybe public notice, Virgil is now on the Dial-A-Ride, if anybody wasn't aware of that board, correct?
Yeah.
Yep, so go team, go.
We'll see. I'm new to all of this, so I'll probably be consulting with you all as to
Right.
how to move forward.
Maybe we should put you on the agenda. You can give us an update on Dial-A-Ride.
Well, when I get some updates, I would be more than willing to do so.
Great. Great to know what's happening. You know, as everyone here is connected with other, these other city boards, it's
Yeah.
nice to have information
Yeah.
flowing in several directions. If we work together as a team.
Well, it's my personal goal that I'm looking to retire the first of the year. So I'm looking to be a part of the board and community activities as well as any board that I could use. So it's like I said, it's all new to me. I've been working a job, a 9-to-5 job for years, and haven't felt that I've had very much time in order to spread myself thin. I've been back and forth to Kalamazoo, work with the other offices. So now I'm going to be a little more available. So I'm going to tap in and see where I fit in.
Thanks. So if there's nothing else, we could get to our training.
And just a quick reminder of Art Hop and all the
Oh,
things
yeah,
that are
sorry.
rolling into this week.
Yeah.
It's a big week.
It is a big week, and for those of you who don't know this, we are doing the Art Hop at the Welcome Center. We have a sculptor. Harris Boyer is his name, a local person. They're wood sculptures, very interesting figural abstract pieces. Some hang, some are freestanding, and so we'll be doing a little bit of a reception there for him, and we will have a band on the roof. So people who are
Like the Beatles, huh?
yeah. And I wish I could say I remember what the name of the band is. It slipped my mind.
It'll come to me in a second.
But a local group, and that is being funded by the Arts Association as part of the Art Hop and what they're doing for Art Hop. So we'll have vendors and artists showing art on the streets and in various places in order to get people to spread out and experience downtown.
So that band will be on the top of the Welcome Center?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the group
It's
that
not
played
Sam-
at
it's
the
not
last
Sam
Art of
Coffey,
the
is it?
Park.
It's not Sam Kofa?
No, at this time. They are playing, I think, but I don't know where. We'll also be having Pachacucha that night. which is kind of unusual to have it on a Friday night. And that will be a Ghost Light Theater, and I believe it starts at
7:30.
7:30?
The Johnny Manor?
No,
No, it's a different event.
Yeah.
The Johnny Manor.
and that'll be outside, I believe it.
And maybe,
Ghost Light. And yes, our friend and neighbor, Mamie, are presenting it at Pet Show.
And yesterday was Mamie's birthday.
birthday.
Yes. So, I think that's it then.
One other thing is History Walk, starting at 5.
That's right. So the history walk will start from the Welcome Center. And on Friday night.
Sounds
And
like a
that's being led by
50s,
the Morgan House.
50s theme, including the State Theater as a stop, I think.
Great. Okay. So if you're free and available, come on down to the Welcome Center, say hello. Listen to the band, bring your families. It should be a fun night. So
There is no training.
there's no training, she didn't send.
No link.
Yay.
No.
Yay. He said, no. Yay.
Oh,
Well, I know
Oh, we
you're
are so
disappointed,
sad.
but you're probably all curious about how taxes are assessed on property.
Next week,
And so
I
I
mean,
guess,
next month.
well, yeah. So I don't have anything more on the agenda.
I'm just gonna see if I have anything that's wrong with you.
in general, as far as taxation is concerned. Because I've got a lot of questions about my building.
Well, I'm pretty sure you'll learn where you are just in how
Okay,
the
right.
taxes are, and then,
Get that, just circulate it.
you know, it's levy and villages and how that process works, and then also because it's for downtowns that we're getting the training,
Understood.
you'll learn, again, a little bit more about TIFs and how TIFs relate to the taxes that are levied on commercial and other properties.
City Clerk Moore offers to forward that to us to review at home if we're chomping at the bit to learn, as soon as she gets it.
Can it be on next meeting? Because that is really good. That was some of the questions, you know, he had brought up when they mentioned it, and I would like to like speak more about it.
So-
Wait a minute.
Should we just wait then?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have much choice, I guess, if we don't have access to it now. So we'll just do it then. And then I think, did we send a link to the last one?
But I can resend them all to you.
Oh, that'd be helpful, just so they pop up.
Yeah.
That way, for anyone who wants to go back and see something, if you didn't catch it. We'll have the list with the links to the other trainings. So if you want to brush up, especially on, it might be helpful to brush up on the TIF. Especially if Mr. Dizette is going to be joining us to talk about what the county can do to help us with funding the DDA through TIFs. We'll all be a little bit more up to date.
Thank you very much.
Is that a possible agenda item for the next meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been in contact with them.
So he'll come to us, which would be great. So,
And on the agenda, we didn't, so the fundraising committee, so is there one and you need a chair? So there isn't one and you need a chair.
yes, there is one, and we need a chair. And, you know, in general, it's been done pretty much by me, and that's not a really healthy thing. And, you know, we all kind of have to work the networks of people we know who are interested in supporting our mission, and that only happens well when other people are involved. Because oftentimes donations especially, people donate to people as well as to causes. So, you know, each of you have people who believe in you and know that if you believe in a particular mission, that they will want to support what you're doing and the mission itself. So to be stronger as an organization, along with hopefully TIF funding someday, we need to expand our network. Part of the part of the work that Virgil is doing is to create that database that will allow us to do that. And then, now we just need some people to step up.
I'm kind of,
Are you stepping up? Okay. So as far as who serves on this committee, it doesn't have to be all board members, so
okay,
especially
Because-
in light of the, no. I
okay,
mean, with the chair of the committee, and it would be helpful to have more than one board member. But other than that, no, because we want to leverage whatever expertise there is in our community as well. And there are people we know around town who have extensive fundraising experience,
right,
who might
that's what I'm.
be able to help coach
Yeah,
us
that's
to
all.
improve ours. So definitely, you know, even if they're just coming as mentors,
Right,
you know, that too can be helpful because it opens our eyes to new.
Marcy, I'm
Right.
gonna be asking her.
Ah, great.
So, okay, so this is a really good meeting. I'm sorry for being late, I was doing some asks of my own for some things, but good meeting. I think these were all, we had really good updates and stuff, I thought that was good.
Lots going on. And unless there's something else that people want to talk about.
Citizen comments?
Citizen comment?
Okay, so with that, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Sir,
We need to gravel like Mamie. She loves her gravel.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, motion carries for adjourn.
Okay, we should have a little bit good video committee.